Juggernaut.
Hello there and welcome to another video. It's been a little while since I've done one of these kind of off-the-cuff videos, just commenting on a few bits of gaming news. And what bigger gaming news is there apart from E3 this week? And we're a few days in at this point, and there have been a lot of new tidbits of information, some great announcements, and I thought I would cover my opinions on what we've learned so far. So I'm going to break it down on a per show basis. So feel free, I'm going to put annotations down below so that you can skip to the minutes where I'm going to talk about the system that most interests you, or by all means feel free to watch the whole thing just like I did throughout the E3 conferences. So I'm going to start with Microsoft. So Microsoft's conference was all about the Xbox Scorpio, also now known as the Xbox One X, and it is by far the most powerful, most awesome game console that's ever been launched. Yeah, it's also one of the smallest. It's absolutely tiny. It's magic. It's fucking magic. That's the only thing that can describe how they managed to put that much power into something that small. It's absolutely incredible that they have managed to fit a 6 teraflop processor with multi-cores running at a higher speed than the PlayStation 4 Pros, 12 gigabytes of RAM, a 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray drive in there, plus heat dissipation. They've got vacuum cooling, they've got all this crazy stuff. They've got power distribution called the Hovis method, which basically allocates power to the exact amount that the console needs, rather than having overhead to worry about and extra heat and wasted electricity bills. They've thought of everything. It's ecological, it's super powerful, it's fast, it's mighty, it's fully backward compatible, and we'll get to backward compatibility soon enough. And it's just really impressive. The downside for some people is the price, and the price is $499 or £449. It's no biggie for me. I heard rumours before this E3 was going to be announced that this Scorpio, or Xbox One X as we now know it to be, was going to cost £600-700, so it's actually quite a welcome surprise. It is more expensive than the PlayStation 4 Pro, which is nearly $100 cheaper, but the power difference between those two systems is like night and day. We're talking an extra half generation leap between the PS Pro and the Xbox One X. So considering all of the tech that's packed into this 1 terabyte Xbox One X system, and the amount of work in research and development that's gone to this machine, I'm quite pleased with the price. It runs all of your existing Xbox One games. It runs all the backward compatible Xbox 360 games. And one of the other announcements that Microsoft made is that all Xbox Ones, whether it's the Xbox One Original, the Xbox One S, or the Xbox One X, are going to have backward compatibility with original Xbox games. And I'm going to tilt my camera now, and I don't know if you'll be able to see them, but that is great news for me, because I've got a pile of some of my original Xbox games over in the corner there. You have to excuse the kids' toys. This is the living room after all, so it is an area where my children like to play, so there are toys everywhere. And I resign myself into a couple of corners. My work corner, my game corner, which is here, and my storage area where all my games that I play regularly are. The rest are up in storage, but I digress. Rather than me having my big old OG old school green gem Xbox underneath my TV, I can ditch my 360, I can ditch my original Xbox, put them in storage somewhere, and just have the Xbox One playing everything. That is really big news. And it was also a welcome surprise to see that Microsoft have announced that 50% of Xbox One gamers have used backward compatibility, which is a stark contrast to Sony's prior statements before E3 stating that only a couple of percent of people would. 50% is half the user base. How big that user base is, we don't know, but even if it was 10 million, that would be 5 million people, and I imagine that that number is significantly higher. I would say we've probably sold 30 million Xboxes at this point, so 15 million people playing backward compatible games, and to know that Microsoft have got our backs in regard to that is very welcome news indeed. So, with the hardware out of the way, which was the main focus of Microsoft's conference, we got onto the games, and again there were some very welcome surprises in there. Everybody prior to this E3 was saying, Microsoft had no exclusive games, it's got Gears, it's got God of War, and it's got Halo, what else does it have? And Microsoft basically answered all of that with a series of varying exclusive games. They announced something like 20 games that were exclusive, whether that's timed or whether that's Windows and Xbox exclusives. Yeah, it's a bit of a grey area, but they've announced the games. They are coming, so we take it as gospel. So a few of those games we saw before. We saw Sea of Thieves, although now we have seen actual gameplay footage and what an average game would look like. Seems kind of fun, but also a little bland. I'm a bit concerned when it launches next year, early first quarter. I'm probably going to check it out, but I'm hoping that there's going to be a beta first. What else did they announce? They announced so many things. I'm trying to rack my brain. Cuphead has a release date. I've had my eye on Cuphead for a couple of years now. It's now coming out September 29th, and I will be there front and centre waiting to get my hands on that crazy platform shooting game with the 1930s animated hand-drawn aesthetic. It looks absolutely amazing. What else looked amazing? Well, Forza Motorsport 7 looked absolutely beautiful. It looked photorealistic in many areas. Very, very impressive indeed. I'm not a huge fan of circuit racing, but I will give that a shot purely because it's going to be a showcase for the new Xbox One X. Speaking of Xbox One X as well, as I said, all previous games are going to be compatible with the Xbox One X, but certain games are going to be enhanced for the Xbox One X, and with 4K resolution textures. They've announced that Gears of War 4 is going to have a free update, Halo Wars, and several other games. And there are new games that are taking advantage of the Xbox One X's power from get-go. And Anthem is one of those games. Anthem looks like Horizon Zero Dawn ramped up to the next level. Truly next level in terms of visuals. It looks absolutely stunning with zero loading times, huge vast open worlds that you can explore above, in air, on the ground and underwater with. It looks absolutely wonderful, and I am really pumped to get my hands on that game. My only thing with it is when you first see the trailer, the first character you see is a mechanized droid, and that droid looked like it was out of Knights of the Old Republic 3, and it twitched in my head and I was thinking, yes, KOTOR 3, woo! And then it turned out to be nothing of the sort. Kind of disappointed, but kind of cool at the same time. I gotta say, I'm really looking forward to Anthem coming out. There were a lot of great indie games, and the biggest one for me was The Last Night. There's been a bit of controversy surrounding the guy who makes this game, but I don't care about that. I really don't care about his background or his stance on political views. I don't give a rat's ass. What I care about is this game has a perfect blend of 3D backgrounds and 2D Blade Runner style visuals. It looks like the natural successor to something like Flashback, The Quest for Identity, and that ticks all boxes for me. I'm really interested to see that game coming out. A big surprise and a welcome addition was the announcement of Metro Exodus. If you hadn't played the first Metro games, Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light, you're missing out. Those games were wonderful, atmospheric games based after an apocalypse of a nuclear fallout. This game takes the claustrophobic setting of the original games and the management of oxygen and puts that to the side. It's still evident in the game, but that's not the main focus anymore. The main focus is exploring this open, new, devastatedly beautiful yet dangerous world. and its new inhabitants. From the trailer that was shown at the Xbox conference, it looked phenomenal, and I'm in there straight in, day one, out of the gate. I'm very, very interested in that game. Many people will be interested in Assassin's Creed Origins. Personally, I'm not a fan. I don't care about it. It looks to me like the exact same games that we've been playing previously in Assassin's Creed, although with much prettier water effects. And an eagle that flies above the area, and you can use the eagle to spot targets, and you can kind of plan your assassinations using this partner, this flying drone partner, basically. Looks good graphically, looks very nice, but it's not for me. I'm sure a lot of people will absolutely love it though. Okay, so now we'll cover the big heavy hitters. Number 1, Minecraft is now going multi-platform cross-play with the exception of PS4. So, if you own an Xbox, if you own an iPad, if you own an Android phone, if you own a Windows PC or a Nintendo Switch, you can play Minecraft with your friends regardless of what platform they're on, providing that they're not playing on a PlayStation. That's really cool news. It's also getting a free 4K upgrade pack with new visual tricks like bloom rays and god rays and hey, how's it going rays. It's wonderful. My kid absolutely loves Minecraft, and to see that we're getting this 4K upgrade for free is a very good plus point for me. But not as good a plus point as seeing State of Decay 2 in action. The first game, State of Decay 1, was a fantastic concept that was a little rough around the edges. Those edges look to have been smoothed out totally, and the game itself seems to have been expanded upon. That concept has grown into a full-fledged title. Looks really interesting. I can't wait to get my hands on the co-op aspect of that game, which is something that the original game firmly lacked. Zombie games have been done over and over and over again, but State of Decay 2 is more of a survival simulator than a zombie apocalypse simulator, and that to me is what makes it most interesting. You manage not only the zombie onslaught, but you manage your relationships with other people, other survivors, determine whether to let them enter your group or to just throw them to the wayside and let them fend for themselves. You get to build your community, build your strongholds, and yeah, basically just survive this massive zombie apocalypse. It looks wonderful. Can't wait to play it. Another game I can't wait to play, and I've been holding off from the PC version for a little while. It tempts me so. It tempts me the precious. But PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is coming exclusively to Xbox for consoles. And that makes me very happy indeed. Not the exclusivity side of things, but the fact it's coming to console, and the fact that it's going to be very, very cool indeed. If you've seen Twitch in the last month or so, players have absolutely flocked to this new game. Viewers have absolutely flocked to this new game. It is like a playable version of Battle Royale the movie. Essentially, 100 people get dropped onto an island. You have to be the last man standing, and you have to constantly move. You can't camp in a certain area because you have these safe zones, and the safe zones over time get smaller and smaller and smaller, pushing you in closer and closer and closer to other survivors. There can only be one winner, winner, chicken dinner, and you have to do your best to be that one. It's really intense, really exciting, really fun from what I've been told, and I can't wait to experience it on the Xbox. Speaking of Battle Royale games, they seem to be the soup du jour, because there was a game called The Darwin Project, which looks like a cartoon version of Battlegrounds, really. It's again an esport driven title from the sound of it. When they showed the game, they actually showed it with a announcer on stage, you know, an esport type of commentator running you through the plays. It looks nice. Not exactly what I was hoping for out of a major game announcement, but hey, I'll take a look. However, it wasn't all good news. I thought it was. I was really excited for a moment. I saw this orange light shining around the big screens that were showing these game announcements on the actual Xbox stage. It flashed orange. I saw a tail. A little orange fluffy tail, and it bounced. Just the top, just the tip of this tail could be seen bouncing from screen to screen to screen. And I thought to myself, after the last couple of years with the debacle that was Project Spark, maybe they listened to the players. Maybe this is where we get to see a brand new, full-on Conker adventure. I was fucking wrong. It turns out to be some bullshit game called Super Lucky's Tale, some kiddie platformer garbage that I won't give the time of day to. I was so crushingly disappointed with that. I can't even think about that game anymore without feeling hurt. Microsoft, why do you hurt me? That freaking hurt. Again, for the second time, they have cock-blocked me with Conker. However, I will be splashing my money down as soon as humanly possible to get Crackdown 3, now with added Terry Crews. Woo! As if I weren't excited enough about that game already. I loved the original Crackdown. Crackdown 2 was amazing fun as well. The sheer badass feeling you get, bleeping buildings, crashing everything around you, tearing through enemies and drug addicts on the street was immense. And everything that I've seen from the trailers for Crackdown 3 is more of the same, which is exactly what I want. I want no frills, no surprises. I just want balls to the walls, explosions, guns, action, fun. With me, with a couple of friends, couple of beers, that will be the ultimate co-op experience for drop in and drop out. Really pumped for Crackdown on November 7th. Something else I really loved as well was Ori. Ori, in the E3 presentation, the trailer alone was an emotive piece of art. It was truly beautiful and inspiring. Ori and the Blind Forest was an amazing game for the Xbox and the PC, and again, the artwork in that game, that 2D platformer, was so beautiful. It really did feel like a work of art, and it made you feel. It was very emotive, and this trailer has already instilled those kind of emotions in me that I want to learn more about this new world. Ori and the Will of the Wisps, no matter when it gets released, absolutely deserves your attention. Even if you're not traditionally into platform games, I think the story and the drive throughout that and the artistic direction will more than pique most people's interest. So we had a list of great games that were announced, many exclusive games, but the full list of games that they announced were Anthem, The Artful Escape of Francis Vendetti, Ashen, Assassin's Creed Origins, Black Desert, Code Vein, Crackdown 3, Cuphead, The Darwin Experiment, Deep Rock Galactic, which looks like a lot of fun, Dragon Ball Fighter Z, Forza Motorsport 7, The Last Night, Life is Strange, Metro Exodus, Middle-earth Shadow of War, Minecraft, the new version, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2, Super Lucky's Tale, and Tacoma. So that is a bumper bunch of games with a bumper beast of a hardware system launched in Microsoft showing. On the whole, pretty damn neat. So next, on to Sony's.